Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
The global pandemic may have left many people quarantined indoors, but the Sheriff's Department says they've seen an uptick in major crimes. We'll have the latest on the most recent statistics. Plus, one local gas station honoring healthcare workers today. We'll tell you how Ramco Express downtown planning to pay tribute to their hard work and dedication at the pump. Plus, this week is National Public Safety Dispatchers Week. Tell you how the Sheriff's Office is highlighting one of their very own with a special honor. And a good morning to you once again. Thanks for staying with 23 ABC News as we start the 6 o'clock hour. I'm Mike Hart. Let's bring in Danielle, who is co-anchoring from the campsite this morning. And where's Juno? Is Juno there?
Yeah, Juno wanted to say hi really badly. She has been pawing at me, trying to get me to pet her all morning, which I guess is just one of the things you have to deal with when you're working from home. But as soon as she sees the sun start to come up, she's also really trying to go outside. And that's what she's trying to do right now, probably because she knows it's going to get a little bit warmer later today. Let's bring in Alyssa, see what we have exactly in store on this Tuesday. Alyssa.
Yeah, I know Juno is not a fan of the rain, so she's going to be really happy with the forecast this week because we are talking about sunny 70s for today and warmer even as the week continues. So right now, as we take a look at our radar this morning, you can see we're 56 degrees here in Bakersfield, a few degrees cooler than we were at this hour yesterday, but you can see it's nice and calm over the county at this hour. As we take a look at what's in store for today, you can see we're going to be warming up to 77 degrees will be our high for today, so we'll see that sometime between 12 and 4 o'clock, but you can see that sunshine all day today. I mean, if you're planning on spending some time outdoors, really you can take your pick at what time to do that because we're going to see the sun out there all day and some good air quality in store for us today as well. As we take a look at what we can see for the rest of the week, 80s in the forecast. We'll talk about that coming up, but for now, let's get a check at our roads this morning with CHP Officer Vaughn Kane. Good morning, Vaughn.
Good morning, everyone. Well, we do have CHP now on scene with an earlier reported crash that happened about 15 minutes ago on East Brundage Lane at Fairfax Road. The roadway is still blocked out there, but they have confirmed that there are no injuries involved, so that's always good news. Just use a little extra caution if you are going to be heading through that area. Again, that's going to be the intersection of East Brundage and Fairfax, and that right now, that's the only thing that I can see working that may slow you down here for our Tuesday morning commute. Mike, I'll give it back to you in the studio.
All right, Vaughn, thank you for that. Topping our news, a local family says their world is shattered after a domestic violence situation left 2 people dead and a newborn fighting for his life. Investigators say it all began Sunday night at about 8:30 on Florence Street near Parrish Avenue in Weed Patch. KCSO deputies say 34-year-old Diana Rivera, who was 7 months pregnant, got into a fight with her on and off boyfriend, Javier Vidal. Officials say that's when Vidal shot her and took off with their 2-year-old son, Elias. An Amber Alert was issued and Elias was located at about 11 o'clock. Deputies found Vidal on Taft Highway about a half hour later near Weibel Road. He reportedly fired at deputies, and officials say deputies fired back. Vidal was pronounced dead at about 4 o'clock yesterday morning. No law enforcement officers were injured, but this entire ordeal, as you can imagine, has left Rivera's family in shock.
Never ever thought that he would do this. I didn't ever think he'd pull a gun and kill her and leave her like that. When I found her, I didn't think that this would really did shock me that I see her like that because I did not ever think that from him at all because she's the mother of his kid. She's the mother of his kid.
Rivera leaves behind 4 children, including the newborn. Family members say there's a picture of the newborn apparently floating around on social media. And out of respect, they're asking anyone who posted it to take it down. In other news, the coroner's office has identified the man who was killed in a shooting on Union Avenue Friday night. Officials now saying they responded to Union just before 11 o'clock Friday in response to a call about a single gunshot heard in the area. When they found the scene, they located a man now identified as 44-year-old Brian Dante Dickerson, suffering from a single gunshot wound. He died at the scene due to his injuries. Police, as a result, are now looking for 46-year-old John Glenn Hardison Jr., the man pictured on your screen. He is described as standing about 5'9", 170 pounds. If you have any information on his whereabouts or you think you may have seen him, you're asked to call BPD at 327-7111. The Sheriff's Department has released its crime statistics from the past month, and the numbers show a rise in several major crimes compared to last year. According to statistics that from March 2019 to March 2020, KCSO say they saw a rise in crimes such as homicide, rape, and robbery, among others. KCSO says it investigated 1 homicide last March and 3 homicides this March. There were 8 reported rapes last year and 9 in 2020. 22 more robberies occurred this March compared to March of 2019. Now, 2 crime categories that did not see an increase this year were larceny and arson. For more information on the statistics, you can go to our website, turnto23.com.
County fire crews responded to another deadly home fire, the second such incident to happen within 48 hours. Monday night at about 8:20 p.m., KCFD responded to a fire in Oildale near T and Eagle Lanes. Firefighters responded to find a mobile home on fire. After they put out that blaze, they found a person dead inside. A postmortem exam will be conducted to determine the cause and the manner of death. And also, according to the coroner's office, Kern County firefighters responded Sunday to a burning residence in Oildale off Roberts Lane. After firefighters put out the fire, they discovered 46-year-old Joseph Elton Johnson dead at the scene. KCFD responded to those 2 deadly fires, stating, "Our hearts go out to those who are grieving the loss of loved ones. These tragic emergencies should remind us all to be prepared in fires for the home." In other news, due to the local impacts of the coronavirus pandemic, 12 more employers are laying off some of their employees. Kohl's said it's furloughing more than 90 employees from its Northwest Bakersfield location on Rosedale, and it's laying off 69 employees from the Gosford location. H&M in the Valley Plaza malls laying off 34 employees, another 21 employees at the Tejon outlets as well. Meantime, Smileland Dental says it's furloughing more than 100 employees in total from its multiple locations around the county. For more information about the businesses and how many employees are being laid off, visit our website, turnto23.com.
A local gas station owner is offering free gas to nurses and doctors this morning. 23 ABC's Daniela Garrido has more information about this giveaway.
What Rapco Express is going to offer our frontline responders is a little bit of appreciation for the time and dedication and the hard work that they've been putting in at the hospital and staying away from their families.
As first responders continue to fight the coronavirus outbreak, acts of gratitude are happening around the community.
God has given me and my family and now it's kind of I want to give back to the community and especially the frontline responders.
Ramco Express in downtown Bakersfield will be offering up to $25 in free gas on Tuesday and Thursday for every nurse and doctor that shows their credentials.
I'll have one of my employees at the gas pump. The nurse or the doctor doesn't need to come out of the gas station. Come out of their cars. My employee will just pump in the gas into their cars, and then they'll be good to go.
The owner of the gas station says it's been an eye-opening opportunity not only for him but also for his employees.
Actually, I spoke with my employees, and one of them is supposed to be off, but she said, "Hey, I'll come in and I'll try to help and be a part of this."
He hopes this gesture will inspire others to continue showing their gratitude for first responders during this time.
And hopefully, Kern County and the world will come together, and everything will be okay sooner than we think it is.
Well, it's National Public Safety Dispatchers Week, and Kern County Sheriff's Office is joining in on all of the celebrations. KCSO posted to Facebook announcing senior dispatcher Esmeralda Pineda is their Dispatcher of the Year for 2019. The post mentions her expert handling of the Ridgecrest earthquakes from last July. Public safety dispatchers provide a sense of safety during an emergency, and they're the essential link for the Sheriff's Office and the public. All right, let's bring Alyssa back in, get another check of this Tuesday forecast and just how warm we'll get. Alyssa?
Yeah, we are talking about clear skies all day today, really from the moment that the sun comes up. So as we take a look at what the forecast will be for your morning grocery run, you can see around 7 a.m. we're already talking about a sunny morning, 52 degrees at that hour. As we take a look at the forecast highs for the valley today, you can see 77 is the magic number across the valley. That's going to be our high here in Bakersfield. Tasker looking at a high of 75 for today. A little cooler as we fly on over to the mountains. 68 for your high in Lake Isabella. Tehachapi, you're looking at a high of 59 degrees. All right, let's check in now with CHP Officer Vaughn Kane so we can get a look at our roads this morning. Good morning, Vaughn.
Good morning, everyone. Looks like we have our second crash of the morning that just came out just a few minutes ago. If you're going to be traveling south this morning, you're going to want to watch out for this one. Southbound Interstate 5, they're putting this just in the area of Laval Road. Looks like we have two vehicles, both big rigs that got tangled up. They were able to get off onto the right-hand shoulder, but traffic is slowing a little bit in the area, so just keep that in mind if you are going to be making your way down south this morning. And we had reported to you a few times this morning, we have a non-injury crash working over on East Brundage Lane at Fairfax Road. We have CHP on scene there. They're working on getting the roadway cleared up, but right now it is still partially blocked, so just keep that in mind if you're going to be in that area here anytime soon this morning. Mike, I will give it back to you in the studio.
Still to come on 23 ABC, a special moment for some of the class of 2020. After the break, we'll bring you a story of hope as one woman tries to put a smile on the faces of high school seniors. And Bakersfield College wants to make sure your time in quarantine is an educational one. Details on new online courses when we come back.
Welcome back, 6:13 now. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced school districts across the state to transition from a classroom setting to distance learning, thus ending the traditional school year for the graduating class of 2020. 23 ABC's Amani Stevens met with one local photographer who's helping some of these students by making memorable moments.
A local photographer is hoping to capture a moment in time. She's offering free portraits for those graduating in the class of 2020 who can't attend the traditional prom or graduation due to the coronavirus pandemic.
1, 2, 3, jump! Yeah.
Jumped from 0 shares to, almost 1,700 shares, like almost overnight.
And from that moment, Shantae Ogletree has been capturing memories, one click, one portrait at a time for the class of 2020. The memory of senior prom and walking across the stage at graduation, not possible for this year's graduating class.
All the things that you plan on doing since your freshman year, 8th grade year, come to graduation and you find out the end of the semester, that you can't even do all the fun things like grad night, have a prom.
1, 2, and 3.
Ogletree says these capture photographs can't replace the traditional moments, but she hopes her gesture can make a difference.
I've had no intention of charging or anything, so it's basically like me blessing others during this time, and I'm blessed that I can be able to do that, and actually the free time to do it too, because unfortunately a lot of my weddings were canceled, but it's definitely, God has his timing, and this was part of it.
Capturing the smiles of graduating high school seniors, 8th graders, and even a kindergartner. And for Frankie Walker, a graduating senior at Bakersfield High School, says this evolving pandemic has taught him a valuable lesson about life.
Don't be afraid of change, just, if anything, be prepared, A lot of things can happen, life throws you curveballs, but just don't back down and just take it head on, and just be positive.
Being the light in the dark situations and not showing fear, and just trying to be, that person who's like, I see you, I hear you, I feel for you, and let me bring light to that.
And for more information on Wild Rose Photography, visit our website, turn23.com. Reporting in Bakersfield, I'm Imani Stevens, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
And you have the chance to take part in a free pandemic webinar. Small businesses, independent contractors, farmers, and single-member LLCs impacted can join in tomorrow. The Small Business Development Center at CSU Bakersfield is hosting the informational session on how to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program and Economic Injury Disaster Loans. It's going on tomorrow from noon to 1. There will also be resources available for businesses to help upon restart and potential resources for those without a bank. link. To register for the webinar, you can go to our website, turnto23.com. The Levan Institute for Lifelong Learning at Bakersfield College announced it's offering online classes. Officials say the Institute's committed to its mission of providing lifelong learning, so it's offering online classes to interested community members. Beginning next week, anyone can enroll in and participate in classes from the safety and comfort of their own home. BC says the community has always supported the Institute, so the faculty and staff said they wanted to give back to those interested in continuing their education. And the Alzheimer's Association is transitioning its resources to online, and that includes virtual support groups and classes. The regional office that covers Kern County released a calendar of all upcoming educational classes and support group meetings. There are a variety of sessions, including understanding and responding to dementia-related behavior, warning signs of Alzheimer's, effective communication strategies, and much more. To register for one of these free webinars, also go to our website, turnto23.com. All right, let's bring in Alyssa Flores and get another look at just how warm it's going to get today.
Yeah, warm enough. I mean, let's take a look out at Pine Mountain Club this morning. You'll see it's a very different scene from what we were seeing last week out there. Just about all the snow up there has now melted, and it'll be getting even warmer for them as the week continues, as it will for us here in Bakersfield. So as we take a look at conditions over Kern County on our radar this morning, you can see it's pretty quiet up there. We're looking at 56 degrees right now here in Bakersfield, about 3 degrees cooler than we were at this hour yesterday. So as we take a look at our futurecast, you can see just how stable things are going to be looking over the next few days here in Kern County. We will be seeing temperatures, they're already above seasonal right now. They're going to remain above average as we warm up. So 77 across much of the valley for your high here today. 77 for us here in Bakersfield as well. Fraser Park, you're looking at a high of 59 for today. Tehachapi, a high of 59 for you as well. Lake Isabella looking at a high of 69 for today. Out in our desert, you're looking at 70s for today. We are expecting some good air quality for us here in the valley today, though. 42 for your AQI for today. So a great week to spend some time outdoors with some good air quality still in our region. So as we take a look at what's ahead for the next week, you can see that warm up, 80 degrees we're looking to warm up to on Wednesday. But then as a storm moves around our region, you can see it's not quite going to bring us rain, but it is going to bring us cooler temperatures. So we're back below average as we end the weekend into the weekend as well. We're also tracking the possibility of some rain for our mountain communities. Friday, the possibility of rain for you going into Saturday as well. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. But for now, we're going to get a check at your roads this morning with CHP Officer Vaughn Kane. Good morning, Vaughn.
Good morning, everyone. It looks like we do have CHP just arriving on scene with a crash that I just reported to you, southbound Interstate 5 at Laval Road. This is two big rigs, and they are both on the right-hand shoulder as we speak, but traffic is slowing a little bit in the area. I think just looking to see what's happening out there. So if you are heading south this morning, just keep that in mind. It shouldn't be too bad for you to get through there with the roadway being clear. And we have one incident here that I've reported a few times to you this morning, a non-injury crash over on East Brundage Lane at Fairfax. We do still have one vehicle in the roadway there, and they are working on getting that roadway removed out of the intersection as we speak, with CHP directing traffic through that incident there. Those are the two that I have. It looks like everything else is looking really good for your Tuesday morning commute. I will give it back to you in the studio.
Still to come, Senator Bernie Sanders may be out of the running for the presidential bid, but it didn't stop him from making this endorsement. We'll have those details straight ahead. Plus, frontline workers in need of supplies. We'll tell you how you can get in on this project, Protecting People Everywhere, PPE. That and more straight ahead.
Welcome back. Just last week, Senator Bernie Sanders ended his presidential campaign, and as of yesterday, he officially announced his endorsement for president. During a live stream with presidential candidate Joe Biden, Senator Sanders announced his endorsement of the former vice president. Sanders suspended his campaign last week, but did not offer a full endorsement of Biden at the time. Biden brought on Sanders during the live stream, and the Vermont senator called on his supporters to now support Biden for the November election. Now to the front lines of this crisis, where doctors are reporting progress in the fight against the coronavirus, and more survivors are speaking out, detailing exactly what they went through. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi has more.
This morning, an up-close look at the coronavirus outbreak.
We have seen gradually the volume drop. Certainly, there is still an extreme need for all hands on deck.
Stress running high at hospitals across the country, nurses are highlighting the camaraderie and teamwork among the staff saving lives.
It's inspiring to see so many coworkers willing to come in extra days to help out.
And now more stories of survival are emerging.
I'm ecstatic to be home. I mean, you can't even imagine.
Steve Schlossberg is at home with his wife in California, but still on oxygen as he recovers from the virus. The 67-year-old isolated himself when he started feeling sick a month ago and was hospitalized days later. Doctors considered putting him on a ventilator.
I got very lucky at the last second. Boy, I really did not want to go on that ventilator.
Ulysses Gutierrez is also a survivor. Doctors initially treated the 39-year-old for the flu, but after 2 visits to the ER, he tested positive for the virus.
My body was aching, just fever.
Mona Kosarabdi, ABC News, New York.
And the FDA has approved the first saliva test to help diagnose COVID-19. A team of researchers from Rutgers University created the test. They hope it will expand testing options and reduce the risk of infection for healthcare workers. The current COVID screening method requires a swab from the patient's nose or throat, which means close contact, and a new mask and pair of gloves every time. The saliva test could also mean conserving more protective gear. For now, it will only be available to hospitals and clinics affiliated with the New Jersey College. And if you have any medical equipment to donate, there's now an easier way to get it to healthcare workers. Several companies and nonprofits have come together to create a project called Protecting People Everywhere. It uses the same initials as the much needed personal protective equipment, PPE. It works through an app and a website called Health Equip. You don't pay anything to ship out the gear, and there's no donation minimum. The project is primarily asking for gloves, medical grade respirators, goggles, and gowns. There is still much more to come in our next half hour of news. Coming up, we are breaking down the latest coronavirus testing numbers here in Kern County. Plus, a local woman's journey to recovery after she tested positive for COVID-19. All of that and much more when we return for our final half hour of news at 6:30.
Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to impact Kern County, more than 100 locals have recovered from the virus. We'll have the story of one woman and her journey. Plus, Kern County gets a new grade when it comes to social distancing. We'll tell you how much the county has actually improved and why the city believes the grade was so low in the first place. And a good morning once again. Thanks for staying with 23 ABC News at 6:30. I'm Mike Hart. Let's bring in Danielle Kernkamp. She is isolated at home, if you want to call it isolation. I don't think that's technically feasible if Juno is hanging out with you in the room right there.
I know. So she was in my lap last half hour because she really wanted to say hi to everybody, and now she's moved kind of over there. That's where the tile is, so it's cool for her. That's her chill spot. But she sees the sun is up and she's ready to go outside as soon as this show is over. Let's bring Alyssa back in, see what's in store for us on this Tuesday morning. Alyssa?
Yeah, this is a Juno forecast for sure. Last week, not so much, but I know she loves the sunshine, and that's what we're going to be seeing today and really for the rest of the week. So as we take a look at our radar this morning, you can see not a lot of activity over Kern County, and that's really going to mean some sunshine today. So 56 degrees right now here in Bakersfield, a bit cooler than we were at this hour yesterday. You can see by the time you start your workday, 62 degrees at 10 a.m., looking like a sunny morning, really from the time that the sun comes up, and warmer days ahead as well. We'll talk about that coming up, but first let's send things over to CHP Officer Vaughn Kane so we can get a check at the roads this morning.
Good morning once again, everyone. Well, if you are heading southbound on Interstate 5 this morning towards the Grapevine, you're going to want to watch out for a crash that we've been reporting to you. We have 2 big rigs involved with a minor injury crash. Both of them are on the right-hand shoulder on southbound Interstate 5 in the area of Laval Road, but it looks like the far right-hand lane is now blocked with emergency equipment. So as you make your way down there, please try to move to the left and give them plenty of room if you're heading south this morning. And we have one we're in the clearing stages with over on East Brundage Lane at at Fairfax Road. We have CHP on scene there with a 2-vehicle non-injury crash. The roadway is now clear there, and traffic is pretty much flowing through there normally now if you are going to be in that area here anytime soon. Mike, I'll give it back to you in the studio.
Vaughn, thank you for that. Topping our news in this half hour, the number of positive cases of coronavirus in Kern County continues to rise. Public Health now reporting 454 COVID-19 cases in all. 446 are residents, 8 non-residents, with 3 deaths. The number of negative test results now just sits below 3,800. Officials say so far they've administered more than 6,900 tests, and there are still 2,700 with results still pending. We're expecting officials to release new numbers once again this morning at about 10 a.m. We'll post those for you the minute we get them to our website, turn23.com. And health officials say we've also seen an increase in patients who've recovered. Right now, that number stands at 113. 23 ABC's Bayan Wang had a chance to speak to one of those patients and shares her story.
I hate to use the word mild because, you know, I was very uncomfortable for several days there.
Karen Burhouse says she's surprised that she tested positive for COVID-19 because the only symptoms she noticed was a mild cough towards the end of March.
I've had flus before that I thought, oh my God, am I going to survive this? Because I would just be so incredibly sick. And I never felt that way with this.
But with a 70-year-old husband who has a compromised immune system and an 87-year-old mother who she regularly interacts with, Burhouse took precaution and stayed away from them.
The only thing I ever felt was I've got to not give this to my husband and mother because it could kill them.
Burhouse says she has now recovered from COVID-19 and returned to work on Sunday at a Circle K store off of Interstate 5 in Kern County. At first, her employer asked her to provide evidence of a negative test, which is one of the methods to determine whether an individual can discontinue home isolation according to CDC guidelines. But when Burhouse reached out to Kern County Public Health,
they told me that none of the testing places are doing negative tests, that there aren't enough tests to go around for people who need it.
Burhouse shared that information to her employer, who she says then considered another method listed on the CDC website, which shows that a person may stop home isolation after displaying no symptoms for over 72 hours without assistance of medication, and that at least 7 days have passed since symptoms first appeared.
They basically came back to me and gave me a date that I could come back to work. And they were actually very nice. They specifically told me, you know, but only if you're feeling like it.
I'm Bayan. At the beginning of the month, Kern County was given an F, if you remember, when it came to social distancing by the company Unicast. Now, they collect data from app partners to examine social distancing across the country. As of Monday, that grade has improved to a C+, announcing about a 40 to 55% reduction in mobility. City spokesman Joe Conroy said the county's initial low grade may have been the result of our two biggest industries, ag and oil. A local gas station owner is offering free gas this morning to nurses and doctors. 23 ABC's Daniela Garrido joining us live with details about this special offer. Daniela.
Good morning, that's right. So as the rest of us get to stay at home, our local nurses and doctors can't say that they're able to do the same. They're still commuting to work in order to stop the coronavirus outbreak right here in our community. So a local gas station owner put it on him and his gas station to kind of give back to those nurses and doctors, going the extra mile for the rest of us. So today, this morning from 5:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., local nurses and doctors, as long as they present their credentials, are able to get up to $25 in free gas. And he says that the best part is you don't even need to get out of your car.
I'll have one of my employees at the gas pump, the nurse or the doctor, doesn't need to come out of the gas station. Come out of their cars. My employee will just pump in the gas into their cars, and then they'll be good to go.
So we've seen a lot of acts of gratitude like this happening around our community during this time, and the owner of the gas station says it's the least that he can do to give back to those nurses and doctors working for the rest of us while the rest of us get to stay at home. So he actually wants to do this again on Thursday. He's going to do it for the afternoon shift, and it's going to be from noon until 6 p.m. So for now, we're live in downtown Bakersfield. I'm Daniela Garrido, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
Dignity Health, Mercy, and Memorial Hospitals have been awarded a $100,000 grant from Chevron to help purchase personal protective equipment for local healthcare workers. Dignity Health says the generous gift will help local hospitals acquire PPE that's vital for the safety of physicians, nurses, and staff. Chevron said they appreciate the support from Dignity to the community, especially during a time like this. Hospitals will be able to purchase surgical masks, protective gowns, gloves, goggles, and respirator hoods. Dignity Health said it's grateful for this support. Adventist Health is also receiving a $100,000 gift from Chevron to help healthcare workers on the front lines of the pandemic. Adventist Health Bakersfield President Charlotte Briggs also announced the nonprofit medical center has created a matching fund for community members to contribute as well. Briggs added the gift from Chevron is a prime example of corporate partnership investing in community wellness and the stewardship of teamwork. And the Adventist Health Children's Mobile Immunization Unit will be back open beginning tomorrow. Officials say they've received the necessary approval to reopen from the Public Health Department. Organizers say there will be changes to the regular routine to ensure everyone's social distancing, including waiting in their cars until it's your turn. The clinic will be parked at Adventist Health on Chester tomorrow afternoon. Officials say they ask anyone who's wanting to attend a clinic to call ahead to hear more details. You can call 869-6740. Now, we're continuing to bring you an inside look at our pandemic coverage with the Coronavirus Impact podcast. In episode 21, host Carrie Osep spoke with 23 ABC News reporter Kylie Walker to discuss more her story on the struggle for local pharmacies to find hydroxychloroquine. Here's a preview.
But you mentioned some steps the pharmacists are taking, but what are these pharmacists urging to people who may be trying to pick up this without even knowing if they have COVID-19 or not?
Right now, since they're so low on stock, they're not even giving it to COVID-19 patients. They are strictly saving what they have for their patients with lupus, because the only places that have hydroxychloroquine, they ordered this medication before the pandemic even broke out. So they're just surviving off of what they have left.
The podcast also details a positive story from a local florist from this past weekend. You can find those full stories and the full Coronavirus Impact podcast on our website, turnto23.com, and on our 23ABC Facebook page. All right, let's bring Alyssa back in now that the sun is up.